Okay, and this is my son. I showed you my daughter earlier. Come here, see. This is my son, Dustin. Isn't he great? It just, I'm so proud of my kids. I don't know. Hey. So that was my son, and let's see. I was talking about the thing with the uh, where I went to school. That having that honor. The thing. I think it was at the Biltmore, and when I believe it was Mr. Mendenhall when he retired, and so that was kind of cool. Got to be a guest of honor at that kind of at that young of an age, and having it positively um, uh, associated with school. Yeah, Diet Coke again. Um, I can remember going back a year. I see. I don't remember my dreams. Um, I I really I really never have remembered my dreams. Let's see if I sorry. Uh, and I don't know why. I mean, I have had some recurring dreams. A couple of them are falling dreams, and then this other one before I went to kindergarten. I I was living with my great grandmother. I'm not sure where my mom was or whatever. Obviously, my dad was in California, but I don't know. Maybe my mom. Maybe that was during the time that my mom was in California with my dad. I don't know, because there was a period of time where I lived with my great grandmother when I was little, around 4 and 5 years old, and a period of time when I lived with my grandparents. So at any rate, I started kindergarten, and I had this dream of that it was all the monsters from uh, the Mummy, Frankenstein's monster, um, um, Dracula, like that, and they're walking me into the school, and all the adults are walking in front of me, and I'm holding my great grandmother's hand, and uh, as we walk into this hallway, there's these like benches on the side, and as the adults got past the benches, they would open up, and these monsters came out after me and scared me, and I woke up, but oddly enough, that's one of the only dreams in my life I remember. I'm sure I dream at night. I know I do, but I don't remember my dreams. I just simply don't. Very, very, very rarely. Um, so, anyhow, that's how I started kindergarten. And that was, I guess, the point when my grandmother was told by somebody that, this kid is special, and you need to keep an eye on him. Nurture that, whatever. My grandmother had no idea how to go about doing it. She had the best intentions, but things didn't exactly work out the way we had hoped. So anyway, so that would have been kindergarten, and then around first grade, I know I started at Squaw Peak in first grade, and we moved into the Montecito house then. So my mom must have, I really don't remember. She must have been with Dave, and then they got the house for my grandparents over on Montecito, bottom line, and we moved into that house together, and I did have my 5th birthday in that house, so that would have been 1968. I remember my mom being a hippie, speaking in 1968. We all had tie-dyed T-shirts and long hair, yeah, Dave, Dave Kenny, he was my stepdad. He was a kind of a biker type, and so for that 5 years that they were married until I was about 10, things were fairly stable and fairly okay in my life. I did, when I was 9, my mom took me to California, and I ended up staying the summer with my dad. And that was when I put my dad on a pedestal and just thought he was the greatest thing since sliced bread, which in retrospect was a horrible, horrible mistake. The best thing that would have ever happened to me would have been for me to have never had my father's influence in my life. But so anyway, those 5 years go. I can't think of anything really that stands out in those years, other than spending that summer with my dad when I was 9 years old. And then things were going bad between my mom and Dave. They were getting ready to get divorced. My mom had met Phil Orchid, who became her third husband, fourth if you consider them. She married my dad twice. Fourth marriage, third husband. Phil ultimately was a good man. But anyway, at that time, I was also giving my mom a lot of problems, and so she sent me to California when I was 11 to go be with my dad. And that was the first time I ever smoked pot. He had me cleaning his seeds and stems out of his pot. I didn't even know what it was. Yeah, I remember he had a rolling machine in there and rolling papers and the pot that he showed me what the seeds and stems were, and had me clean it out for him, and had me rolling joints for him with the rolling machine, showed me how to use it. So later that summer was the first time I ended up smoking pot. I was going to stay there and live with my dad. At least I thought I was. This starts to get into where my life starts really taking a turn for the worse. But so my mom and Dave split up. Let's see, I'm 11. My mom's seeing Phil in Phoenix. I'm in California living with my dad. Things getting ready to ding, so maybe right now would be a good time to stop this section, and we'll continue on here in a minute with the this next portion of my life. I guess it really is a kind of a defining moment, or a moment, a time where my life really changed. So we'll get to that.